Hello everybody, I'm here with Will James. Most of you people will know him, people that don't, look him up. He's been in the kiteboarding game for a long time, pretty much from day one. Seen a lot happening in kiteboarding. Is still kiting, is now racing with us out there on the hydrofoil. So I'm really excited to be here with you.
Thanks, Marvin.
In San Francisco at this epic venue. And yeah, so what do you see has changed in the last 15 years since you started? Obviously you still like it, you're still doing it, you're now on the super high performance gear with us. So what has changed over all these years? What's the same? And obviously you're still stoking on it.
Yeah, no, obviously equipment got a lot better. And, before it was, during the freestyle era, it was really, if you could just stay upwind, you could actually do really well in a freestyle tournament just because you could stay within the box. But, I always did the freestyle riding and the wave riding, and that was, really fun. And I saw the racing. I never really got into it. I'd rather do freestyle or waves. But with this new hydrofoil equipment, this is really cool stuff. The equipment is insanely high performance. The foil kites have been around forever, but these next generation foil kites we're riding now are just effortless 30 knots. The foils are you're just cruising downwind at warp speed. So yeah, that kind of got me off the couch, and I never really wanted to get back into racing, but just coming to these events and being able to go around the course with these guys helps me when I just kind of play around at home. But I mean the equipment is incredible.
Yeah, so that I guess makes the biggest buzz for you is the speed.
Yeah.
Also like that it's really tacky with the equipment.
Not just the speed, I mean speed's been there, but you're always pushing a lot of water. But with this hydrofoil stuff, you're going 30 knots and there's it's effortless. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean also with the freestyle, being competitive freestyle or push your limits, sort of your body, in our age, has its limits. Or a lot of people now on the freestyle circuit with mid-20s, they had, re knee construction, shoulder rebuild, lots of injuries from all the impact. I mean, we go super fast around the track and crash pretty hard too, but you sort of, shake it off and get back up. So do you think that it is a sport that's really has a bit bigger or a longer future for people to do it, like you and me?
Yeah,
we had Tony here before.
I think after you're 25 years old, you're done in competitive freestyle these days, if you even make it that far. I mean, pro surfing's headed the same way. Any of these sports where you're jumping, it's tough on your knees and ankles, and that sets you back when you break one of those. But yeah, this stuff, if you've got your board handling together and you can kind of link up some good turns, you can actually do a good race out here even at middle age. So it's a good challenge to try to make it happen.
Yeah, cool. How do you see the scene? Like if you compare, the back in the days, the scene where everything was new and people were, developing equipment and getting the stoked on, discovering new ways of riding and learning new tricks. Do you feel a bit like the same happening now with, all the high performance stuff you mentioned?
I think the development's still really fast here with what we're doing, and I mean, you see that lines went from 21 meters to 10 meters over the last year. I mean, that's pretty radical change, and the foils are getting better, the kites are getting better, everything's getting better and better and better, and it's still going. So it's, in my opinion, it's not time to put this thing in a box quite just yet.
Mm-hmm.
But this open class scene is really neat. The development's still motoring ahead.
Because that's where sort of the opinions spread out. Some people say it's really cool, like what we are doing with the Pro Tour, just keeping it open. Basically you can ride anything you want. You can shape your own board. You can lay up your own foil or tune your kites, whatever. Some people say, it's way over the top. The gear's becoming too high performance, too expensive. So how do you see? What's your opinion about this?
Look, the gear's not cheap, but it's not that expensive. I mean, guys go out and spend $10,000 on a road bike. like all day long. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like really high performance, like carbon fiber products, like what we're paying for a foil, $2,500, and for a board, $1,500, and kites, whatever, 10 grand, you can, for 10 or 12 grand, like you can have world class stuff, and that's not that expensive when you compare it to other sailing sports or other even biking or motorsports. It's not that expensive. So to like really be worrying about the the cost of this stuff it's unnecessary right now. Just let it develop for a while and then try to put it in a box. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're out there, if you crash one tack or one jibe, then your race is pretty much you lose like 10 positions. So
Sure.
How good the equipment is only relative to how good you use it or know how to use it out there on
sure.
the course. So
But the fact that our equipment's so good, it means that you can carry these huge kites around the course, and it's like working better and better every year because of the fact that you don't really have any restrictions on using alloy masts on our foils or using a certain weight for the lines or whatever. We're able to do sort of whatever we want, and you see that's helping the range, and it's helping the whole thing. Short lines just made the whole thing so much easier, tacks and jibes and all that kind of stuff.
And it's also safer, right? Because you're not getting pulled off. Holding all that power is easy. You added another, few knots in the puffs.
Absolutely.
Where you can hold it, not getting blown
short
off.
lines make it really easy to hold huge kites upwind, whereas before you'd get these out of control kind of runoffs.
Yeah, get worked. Very cool. What about? We had a different approach here, and we had a lot of talks before. Is it safe? Is it not? Usually we split the fleets and have maximum, let's say, 25 people in one fleet. This time we took a different approach and, just said we do one big fleet. The guys here at the San Francisco Yacht Club do it every other fortnight with their local fleets. So we had 45 people on the start line, and it worked out pretty good, I think. We didn't have...
for me the starts were a little hectic, but a couple times with kites bouncing into each other. But for the most part it was all right.
Yeah. Do you see any dangers or anything that you would, tell people that have been kiting for a long time that want to get into foiling, maybe some racing on the foils? Is there anything that you could recommend or give some tips to these people?
No, you gotta ask somebody else for tips. I'm not quite there yet.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
Sweet ass. Yeah, well, hope to see you more often around. You were in Mexico and you are here now. It's good to hang out with guys like you. I think the younger guys are inspired too. They always come to me, and ask me about the old movies. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's the dude. Still doing it.
Yeah, still poking around.
Good to have you, man.
No handle passes anymore. We're still here.